Now that we've published our blog post for the MP3, the next thing we want to do is go back to our links, and we want to do something that's called ping FeedBurner. Now what this does is it tells the FeedBurner service, hey, we have just posted a new post and we want you to go out there and find it and update it. So as you can see, it successfully pinged it. If it comes up with the red X, you would just click on the reload or refresh button until it gives you the green. And that's how you ping it. Again, that's primarily so that it will identify that there's something new out there, and it will send its information in the background to the iTunes service and the other RSS services and whatnot out there to let them know, hey, there's a new post. Okay, we can close those windows now. And what we want to do is, I'm actually going to open up, just so we have some variety, a Safari window here. Make sure we can cancel out of this in iTunes. We don't need that at the moment. So I'm going to go back here and open up Safari. Now this is where we're going to load it and make sure that it's actually on the LifeGate Church website. We are working towards minimizing having to do this step so that it'll only be a one-step process, because we'll be integrating our blog into the actual website. So we need to go to the administration portion of mylifegatechurch.com, and here you'll log in. And of course you'll be given those credentials. And then you want to go to Components, ROK Downloads, Manager. And here you'll see that same directory that we actually posted to. So you want to click on Sunday. And if you scroll all the way down, you'll notice that this is in orange because it hasn't been published to the LifeGate Church website yet. So we want to make it look similar to the other. And the display name we want to change back to what most people would recognize as month, day, year. And at the very end, we want to take off the .mp3 off the end of it. We do want to check mark yes on published, and here we want to put the sermon notes just like we did on the blog. So we can copy those over from our MP3 by doing the same thing, by copying, pasting. Here we don't need to do anything as far as linking because the file is actually being hosted on the LifeGate Church website. Click on Save, and as you can see, it's no longer orange, so we know it's been published. It's got a check mark here by it, and then we can log out. And now when you go to My LifeGate Church, you'll see here down on Resources, Sunday Messages, we have the latest and greatest, which is again our posting. And somebody, if they wanted to, could download the physical MP3 file there, or they can again subscribe using iTunes or some other RSS. Now we can go ahead and check our iTunes and make sure that it actually is pulling through by going to the podcast directory. Of course, you will have subscribed to it just to make sure everything is working, and then just update the podcast. And as you can see, it did find the new service. It's downloading it, and when you click on the information button, there's all of our sermon notes and everything, and it's all embedded with the information that we input. So everything looks good there. And that pretty much does it as far as the actual posting itself. A little bit of cleanup now that I'll move on to, and that should wrap us up. Alright, so now that we're done posting and we've confirmed everything looks good, you can feel free to delete your AIFF file and any other files that you may have temporarily created as a result of the creation of the podcast, so you don't gunk up your desktop or your computer with a whole bunch of data that you don't need. Preaching to the choir here, as I obviously need to clean up my directory on sermons. So that way you can go in here, like where I've got here under sermons, I've got all these different versions, and I try to just keep a couple of the last few, a couple of Sundays and a couple of Wednesdays, so that it's easy to copy and paste. And in this particular case, I can easily just go in and delete those and move those to the trash, because again, I have those in the podcast itself. All of those same files are here, so I don't need to duplicate them. So just something to think about when you're cleaning up and going through everything. If you have any questions, you can always reach me by email or by phone. And thanks so much for being willing to serve with us and create these podcasts. You're able to reach a lot of people this way and touch a lot of lives that wouldn't normally be touched. So thanks so much, and God bless.